Hey everyone, Austin here. Hope you are having a wonderful day and that wherever you are, it is as beautiful as it is here in beautiful Midwest Missouri. Um, so, in this short video, I want to talk just briefly on expectations for our clients. So, there's three ways that I want to talk about that, and three different factors that come into play with expectations for our clients. One is through defining expectations in our packages. Two is through our policies. And then three is through our standard operating procedures. Okay. So first of all, when setting expectations, it's obviously important to underpromise and overdeliver. Okay. If you underpromise and overdeliver, you look like the hero. If you overpromise and underdeliver, you look like the villain. Okay. And so setting the expectations through your packages is very important. For example, if someone's purchasing a portrait session, they need to know the length, they need to know the locations, they need to know how many outfit changes they get, they need to know how many photos they're going to get, they need to know when they're going to get them, etc., etc. You know all these things. But what is defined in your packages is what they're going to expect, and what's not defined is going to be ambiguous and really defined differently by you and the client. So if you do not define a pivotal expectation for your client and then they get upset by it, whose fault is it really? It's yours. Because as the professional, we should be defining the expectations clearly in our packages, in our offering, as you guys know I like to put it in the offering, rather than leaving, spider on my arm, rather than leaving things up to the imagination, okay? Because if I purchase something from someone, and shoot, if I don't know anything about photography, I'm like, well, don't I get 100 pictures, and don't I also get the originals? I mean, why wouldn't I get the originals? That's crazy. Now, of course, we know that's crazy, but to someone who's not a photographer, that may not seem unreasonable, okay? So setting the expectations in our packages, in our offering, maybe even in our marketing, all the way down to what's on our website, helps build that expectation, okay? The second thing is through our policies. You should all have a policy sheet on your website that's tagged in several different locations, and you should also have it in each email, especially at least one of the first few emails that's sent to your client, maybe with a note saying, "So glad you've booked us. Here is a copy of our company's policies. You can find it attached to this website or this link, and link it to your website." They go and they read your policies, and it's got things like, if you show up late, we start late. It's got things like you're not allowed to crop out watermarks on previews. Whatever your company's policies are that are important to you should be in that policy document, and that will also set expectations, because lots of things will be defined that you don't want to necessarily have to redefine every time you talk to a client. Okay, so policies is a big one, and that will really help shape the expectations. And if you get through a shoot and they did not read the policies, let's just say you emailed it to them and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got that, but I never read it." Well, then who's the liability on for there being a problem if you clearly attempted to disclose your policies and they chose to not read them? Okay. Third thing is your standard operating procedures, or SOPs. And your SOPs are important because they factor into both of these two things. Okay. One, we have an SOP in place that when someone inquires through the website, they're sent a canned email that has basically all the expectations already built into it. Okay, we have another standard operating procedure that says that anytime someone inquires about new business, they're automatically sent a copy of our policy sheet or reference to the website. That's also through a canned email, and it's also confirmed in a phone call. And the other part of the SOPs, the standard operating procedures, that helps us is to remember on all of the deliverables that we are offering in our packages. Example, when we book out a wedding package, if it has print deliverables such as a book, parent book, prints, canvases, etc., we immediately put a calendar event in our calendars. We immediately put a line item in our to-do list with the client's name, wedding date, and the exact deliverables that they've been promised, so that 3 months after the wedding, we're not like, "Oh shoot, they were supposed to get a book, or they were supposed to get 2 canvases. Oh, we totally forgot." Okay, so standard operating procedures helps deliver their expectations by keeping you extra organized and on top of your game. Okay, and remember, expectations are key. Okay, if you underdeliver, you are the villain. Okay, if you over-deliver, you are the hero. Okay, a few examples of how we do this is like on weddings, we say that turnaround time is about 6 to 10 weeks, and we typically deliver in 4, 5, or 6. Okay, so when we call them at 5 weeks and say, hey, your photos are ready, they're like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And they're thrilled. Okay, but if we call at even week 6, which is the minimum, you know, they might be upset, and they're like, okay, well, you know, that's what I expected, and you know, the Lord forbid you deliver them at 10 weeks or later, and you're definitely the villain. Okay, that's one way that we do it. Another way we do it is we might say you'll receive 15 edited images for this shoot, and we'll send them 17. Okay, and we all know that one way to easily do that is, you know, as long as the contrast and tones are correct, you can just black and white a few photos. Okay, and so they thought they're going to get 15, they get 17, 18, 19, and you are delivering them extra value. And if you remember our video about the law of value, you are now delivering far more value than you were being paid for, which makes you irreplaceable, and it's going to convert them from a customer to a raving fan. And we know that raving fans are the ones that send us referrals, not just customers. Okay, so as you ponder and consider your business today, what you're doing throughout this week, ask yourself, am I clearly defining expectations, for one? Am I setting myself up to deliver on those expectations? And am I under-promising and over-delivering, or am I over-promising and under-delivering? And I think examination of our expectations and how we're either meeting those or not, and setting ourselves up to either succeed or fail with those, are very important questions, and I believe can heavily increase your business's revenue by examining those things. So, yeah. Again, hope you guys are having a great day, and that it's beautiful wherever you are. So one more look at this beautiful sky and one of my trees. All right, see you guys.